The University of Mississippi Student Associated body voted to remove the state flag from campus. ESPN plans to remove nearly 400 employees in the coming weeks. Find out about YouTube's subscription service and how it will affect your viewing service. Welcome to Maroon 360. Joe Biden decided not to enter the 2016 Democratic campaign. I'm Kaylee McCool.
Healthcare providers are gearing up for the flu season. I'm Antoinette Ingram. A South Carolina sheriff's deputy has been pulled from high school where he worked as a resource officer after a cell phone video showed him slamming a student into the ground while classmates watched in horror. Deputy Ben Fields was caught on camera at the Spring Valley High School, South Carolina, ordering a student out of her seat and aggressively grabbing her, slamming her in the desk into the ground. The veteran officer, who is a powerlifter in his spare time, then tossed her across the room as the surrounding students watched. No motive for Fields' actions has been identified yet, not to return to school during investigation. No injuries were reported as the result of the incident.
Initiative 42 has been topic of conversation for Mississippians this voting season. Commercials, radio PSAs, and hosts of other media outlets have been painting a good picture for citizens over the past month to vote for the initiative ballot in polls. 42 is supposed to be a reinforcement of Section 201 of the amendment to better fund public schools for the state of Mississippi. Also in that section, the legislature must fund the system of free public schools, but the Chancery of Courts are in charge of how the funding will be allocated. Voting takes place November 3rd.
The University of Mississippi Associated Students body voted last week to remove the state flag from the university grounds. The state flag, which bears the Confederate battle emerald, has been center of the great controversy since Charleston's shooting, in which the shooter admitted that he was attempting to start a race war. The measure was passed on 32 to 15 votes, with one abstaining voter. The issue will now go to the university's Center of Officers to decide whether or not to eliminate the Associated Students body's decision. If the university decides to agree with the student body, Ole Miss will be the fourth Mississippi college to remove the flag.
Vice President Joe Biden has officially gone on the record regarding his rumored presidential run for the White House next year. Biden declared last Wednesday that he will not be a candidate in the 2016 race. With the president on one side of Biden and wife on the other, Biden spoke of his love for the country as well as the grief felt by his family after the death of his son, Beau, earlier this year. Despite finding himself in a good place now, the vice president realized it was simply too late to generate a winning campaign. He did, however, insist that he would not be silent throughout the election year and would use his platform to influence his party and the nation.
October is officially marks the start of the flu season, and many local healthcare providers are offering flu shot clinics. The Mississippi State Longest Student Health Center is among one of those healthcare providers to be offering the flu shot clinics this year. Shots are available to prevent the spread of the flu, and according to the health officials, the sooner you get the shot, the better. According to the Center for Disease Control, prevention in Mississippi is one of the 22 states with a high influenza rating. The Student Health Center will be offering several clinics throughout October and November, open to anyone 12 years or older. Students and MSU employees can be charged to their banner account, and it will cost $20 for anyone else. For more information on when and where to get the flu shot this month, visit the www.healthmstate.edu.
From the candy to the costumes, Halloween is a fun-filled time for kids and adults alike, but it can pose some dangers to young participants. A few safety tips to follow to make this year's festivity a trick-free treat: always stay in groups and stay in lighted areas. Add reflective or glow-in-the-dark tape to children's costumes and trick-or-treat bags. Parents should avoid allowing kids to wear masks in order to prevent breathing and vision difficulties. Also, attach a name tag with a phone number on the child's costume in case separation occurs. Following these tips will ensure a safe and spooktacular holiday weekend.